I don't see any real difference between preparing for an intimate emotional scene and preparing for a scene where someone walks in and says, do you want a cup of tea? I mean, my big thing with actors is I let them do their job. So unless they need help, or unless there's a problem with the scene or a problem with a particular dynamic in a scene, I tend to step away. They cast really good actors, and most of your battles with performance are done in the casting process. They've cast really, really good actors as the regulars and Spooks, so by and large they come in and they do it. The script, they're clever people, they know, they read the script, they know if this scene is quiet or loud, fast or slow, whether it's got lots of pauses in it, whether it's all overlapped. They know whether it's emotional or whether it's just expositional. They understand all that, they know how to play it. Once I tend to get them into the room, run the lines, block it, answer any questions, do any line changes and stuff like that, and then we'll set up to shoot it. And I won't start tweaking performance until we've started shooting, because I really encourage them not to perform in rehearsal. I really encourage them just to walk it through, say the lines out loud, but don't put any emphasis on them, don't try and act it at all, because the last thing you want to see as a director is an absolutely brilliant rehearsal that you didn't shoot. And I've seen them before and I hate them because they're useless to me and it never gets that good again. So I much prefer to get a brilliant take one because they haven't had a chance to start acting yet. And then once they do start acting, if anything needs to be tweaked, then we tweak it as we go and we go again, and we just keep going until we get it. But I really don't make any big distinction between shooting an action sequence and shooting an emotional sequence there. The atmosphere naturally on a crew tends to calm if it's an emotional scene and tends to go up if it's an action scene, and you just let that atmosphere pervade the scene that you're shooting and let it work itself out, really.
Harry, there's a document missing.
What document?
I made a list of all the papers we showed to Angela, and they're all here but for one.
Has she taken something?
Yes. It's the report we did last year on the new security measures at Buckingham Palace.
What's it blind? It's a remote. She twists and turns so we don't see her real target.
Which is?
The royal family. Adam Carter, a woman's just left the building. Stop her!
We work incredibly fast on Spooks. It's probably the fastest I've ever shot anything, I think. But at the same time, it's so well organised. In terms of pages per day, you're doing loads, and you're doing loads of scenes a day, and you're running from this location to that location on the grid especially. You're just like that room, and you're knocking them out really quickly. But I've never been able to work this fast with this level of precision before, because Spooks are so well organised and the crew are so good that you are kind of surprised that you turn around and you've just shot 2 scenes in like the blink of an eye, but they're exactly how you wanted them to be, and they're lit beautifully and they're acted beautifully, and it all works. You never feel like you're compromising for the sake of speed. And they really don't encourage you to compromise for the sake of speed on this show. The brilliant thing about Spooks and about working with Kudos is that their priority is making a good TV show. It is not making a TV show that comes in on budget or comes in on schedule. Those things do happen, and they obviously encourage it to happen, but it's not their first thing. Their first thing is make it good. Not make it cheap, make it good.
What the hell is this? Where's Kervin?
He was shot dead whilst attempting to commit a terrorist act.
Which is why we were trying to extradite him in the first place.
Except it wouldn't have happened without this man. An American citizen who is being charged under the Prevention of Terrorism Act with conspiracy and incitement to commit an act of terrorism. We'll be holding on to him too.
If he's an American citizen...
You want him back? You'll have to go through the proper channels. In the meantime, Alex, inform your superiors to put their own house in order before they even think about messing about in mine again.
Well, most TV shows have a set style, and I've even done some where they weren't even set because they hadn't even properly started shooting the show yet, and they had their style in their head that they wanted you to follow before they'd even tried it out. Spooks is the absolute opposite of that. I was a Spooks fan way before I ever got anywhere near directing Spooks. And I've seen every episode, and I watch it, and I love it, and I've got the DVDs. I'm kind of a Spook geek for this stuff. But there is a kind of style to Spooks which you absorb and which you understand. Within that, you're allowed to do anything you want. And we've got, in episode 10, we have a plot which mostly takes place on the grid, and there's a lockdown on the grid, an intruder lockdown.
This is Harry Pierce, Section D. I'm ordering a spot lockdown, commencing in 15 seconds. Disconnect all telephones and communication lines. You'll be contacted by messenger when to reconnect.
And we immediately came in, my DOP Nick Morris and I came in and said, let's do a lighting change for the lockdown. Now, they never do lighting changes on the grid. And we just took out every light on the entire set, replaced everything on the entire set, changed the colour, changed everything of the lights. And with everyone's complete blessing, there were no fights, no arguments, no counterpoints to it. Everyone just went, yeah, fine, go for it. So episode 10, you've never seen the grid looking like this. It's suddenly red, it's gone completely dark in places, it looks like heat in places, it's amazing. And they do just let you have that freedom. They just go, if it works for the story, go for it.
Well done.
You think so?
You broke her.
Maybe I broke me too.
That's adrenaline withdrawal.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, good, good, thank you.
Ruth.
I lied. I told her I'd slept with my stepbrother. I sold myself, my feelings, to manipulate her.
You think I'm a limited man? You think I don't understand the emotional side? Self-control, self-denial. These are the things which keep us together in this job. You told a huge lie about your personal life.
And I can't bear that I did.
But aren't you proud you had the nerve to tell that lie?
It was horrible.
Aren't you proud you told the lie? Aren't you proud you talked Angela out of that room?
God forgive me.
You're a born spook, Ruth.
I come back next year at the drop of a hat. Yeah, I don't know if they'll ask me back next year, but yeah, I would definitely come back next year and do it. I think I'm going to write one next year for Series 5, and I'm hoping they're going to come and let me either direct that one or direct some others.